Hey girl, welcome to On My Mark, your weekly transformational podcast designed to motivate, empower, and inspire to aspire. Yes, in that order. I am your host, Ravimbo C, and I'm a speaker by passion, philanthropist by purpose, and a Zimbabwean by tradition. I want to let you in on a little secret. This isn't your typical motivational podcast. This right here is transformational. So join me every Tuesday for your weekly dosage of inspiration. Episode 6. We're on episode 6. Yes. Welcome back. See, today I am just so happy. Like, I'm extremely happy. Do you want to know why? Because I am just happy. That's it. You need a reason to be sad, but you don't need a reason to be happy. Keep that in mind. So, most of you have been getting in touch via Instagram, Facebook, and email. And I get quite a few emails. We're getting there, that, just encourage me to want to do more and to reach out and, to keep going episode after episode. And it's also just nice to have conversations with some of you on the different topics that we've been discussing. So keep getting in touch and keep letting me know as well if there are any other relatable topics that you might want us to discuss. You can email me on hello@ownmymark.co. hello@ownmymark.co. Yeah. So, with that said, we are going to jump right in today's episode titled Attitude Adjustment. Attitude is everything. It is your mental framework of how you perceive life. Keyword, mental. It is the way you choose to see and respond to events, situations, people, and yourself. Your attitude reflects how one thinks, feels, and behaves in a given situation. You see, there's a direct correlation between a positive attitude and better relationships, superior health, and greater success. A positive attitude brings strength, energy, motivation, and initiative. Basically, it pays to have a positive attitude. But hold on. Let's first cover the fundamentals. Right? Listen, don't lose me on this one. We're going somewhere. In psychology, there are 4 types of attitudes: positive, negative, neutral, and second. These are composed into 3 components: cognitive component, affective, which is your emotional component, and behavioral component. Basically, the cognitive component is based on the information, knowledge, your thoughts and beliefs about the subject, whereas the affective component is based on the feelings, how the object, person, issue, or event makes you feel. The behavioral component reflects how the attitude affects the way that you act or behave. For example, a person who's scared of an injection or a needle, like myself, true story, someone has to hold my hand each time because I just can't. I really cause a scene. My auntie is my witness. The cognitive component, which is my thoughts and beliefs, might be the fact that an injection would hurt. On the other hand, the affective and emotional component would be the feeling that I am scared of the injection. So as a result of this, my behavior component is that I completely avoid getting an injection, or every time I get one, I totally freak out at the sight of one. So an attitude is essentially like an evaluative statement that is either positive or negative depending on the degree of like or dislike for the matter or situation in question. Hold that thought. We're going to come back to that one. Today, we're going to focus just on two types of attitude. We're going to focus on the positive and the negative. Confidence, optimism, determination, reliability, willingness to adapt are traits that represent positive attitude. People who have a positive attitude will pay attention to the good rather than the bad in people, situations, circumstances, or events. They tend to consider that a mistake or a failure is not a hurdle, but an opportunity. They learn from their mistakes and move forward in life. On the other hand, hatred, pessimism, resentment, doubt, jealousy, inferiority are traits that represent negative attitude. People with a negative attitude ignore the good and pay attention to the bad in people, situations, circumstances, and events. They often like to complain about changes rather than adapt to the changing environment. People with a positive attitude expect good things to happen. They look on the brighter side of life. Have you ever been around someone who's always so positive and about everything, and you often find yourself asking like, why is this person so positive all the time? And sometimes we even get mad about it. People who expect better things often find that they have more pleasant experiences, whereas the reverse is true in that those who expect the worst often receive the worst. So, coming back to the three components which shape your attitude: cognitive, affective, and behavioral. My question is this: what is shaping your thoughts and beliefs? That's where we need to start from. Because psychologically speaking, according to the three components, what I think and believe about something will determine how I feel about it. Then my behavior towards that something will either be positive or negative based on those components. That's attitude. So here's where we're going with this. Note to self. Write this down. You cannot live a positive life with a negative mind and limiting beliefs. Now, why did I take the time to go through the psychology behind the attitude? It's because I've come across a lot of people that hide under that whole, that's my attitude, I can't change it, it's who I am. Wrong. That's your attitude because you choose to be that way. You have the power to control your mind and your thoughts. Your attitude is not something that happens to you. You choose your attitude. Teach your mind to work for you. I think next episode we really should go deeper into mindset, because you are what you think. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. Your thoughts, thinking process, your mindset shape your actions. Your actions create your results. And these results, when stretched over a lifetime, are what you call your destiny. Okay. Maybe some of you are more into maths. So here's a maths equation. E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. The response is the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions. So what we're really saying here is E plus A equals O. Event, whatever happens to you, plus your attitude will determine your outcome. John C. Maxwell said, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I get it. Sometimes things happen and unpleasant experiences will occur in our lives. Things we have no control over. You will find yourself in situations that you had no intent in being. That's life. Sometimes life happens. Such things like loss. People lose their jobs. People lose loved ones. Especially in this year alone, so many people have lost their jobs due to the pandemic. And this was hard. Now remember the phrase, look on the brighter side of life. Something you've probably heard countless times. Life has a bright side and a dark side. But it's usually in these times of, losing your job that you feel that life is dark. But try and remember that at times When you lose something, don't think of it as loss. Accept it as the gift that gets you on the path you are meant to travel on. I cannot stress enough the importance of training your mind to adopt a positive attitude to life. Oscar Wilde said, if you don't get everything you want, think of the things you don't get that you don't want. In order to be positive in the way you feel, it is necessary to be disciplined in the way that you think. Easier said than done, right? Yeah, I know. See? I know what you're thinking. That's why you have to teach your mind, train your mind. It doesn't just happen. Napoleon Hill, he said, any idea, plan, or purpose may be placed in the mind through repetition of thought. What are the 8 laws of learning, according to John Wooden? Explanation, demonstration, imitation, repetition, 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 and repetition. To sum it all up, it's all about repetition. The more you repeat these through repetition of thought, they become you. A positive attitude gives you power over your circumstances instead of your circumstances having power over you. Negative attitude, stay far away. You see, a negative attitude, on the other hand, is like a flat tire. You can't go anywhere until you change it. Some people just have negative and bad attitude, and yet they wonder why they're stagnant in life and not progressive. Funny thing is, most of these people don't even know that they have a negative attitude. I'm sure most of us know that one person, either at work or in your personal lives, that's always so negative about everything. That one person that you don't want to invite anywhere because they're just so negative and can't seem to find the goodness in life. I really hope you're not that one person that everybody says is that one person. Ask yourself, do I have a positive or negative attitude to life? The reason I'm asking is because we all carry both conscious and unconscious attitudes. Apart from the psychological basis of attitude we've been discussing with the 3 components, other factors such as family, society, economy, can play a significant role in the way you view and you respond to life. You've got to be conscious to all these things. For example, here's something. Some people experienced difficult childhoods, grew up in violent homes and witnessed so much traumatic things as a child. And because you were so young, your primary stage of attitudes was shaped by what you saw and those of your family. You then grew up, formed a shell over these early beliefs, but some of us never dealt with these traumas, but suppressed them and formed a character structure to compensate. Here's the problem. During periods of vulnerability, those deeply held beliefs you've been suppressing will peek through. It is important to speak about it and deal with these unconscious beliefs and thoughts because they have a tendency to have more power in our lives than we realize if not dealt with. So coming back to our note to self, you cannot live a positive life with a negative mind and limiting beliefs. Here's 5 ways to make this work for you. Are you ready? Number 1, change your thinking. If a negative thought enters your mind, take notice of it, then replace it with a more positive thought. Perhaps think of a positive outcome that can arise from some seemingly negative events, or try to find a practical solution to a problem. Practice makes it easier to ignore negative thoughts and feelings. Get rid of that stinking thinking. Anne Bradford said, tell the negative committee that meets inside your head to sit down and shut up. Number 2, stop complaining. Be aware of how often you complain about things, especially things over which you have no control. Try to reduce the amount of complaining that you do and acknowledge that they are things that you cannot change. Accept them and release them. Train your mind to adopt the mental attitude of, I will not get upset over situations I have no control over. If you can't change the situation, adjust your sails. In the same way you can't change the direction of the wind, adjust your attitude and shift the direction of your focus. Allow the flow of energy to drift in a different direction. Your problem isn't the problem. It's your attitude about the problem. I'm sure most of us have heard the saying, your attitude determines your altitude. How you see yourself and react to situations in your life will ultimately determine your level of success. Put yourself in a state of mind daily where you're telling yourself, today is an opportunity for me to celebrate like never before my own power, my own ability to get myself to do whatever is necessary. I read a funny statement that said, I couldn't fix the brakes on your bike, so I made the bell louder. You see? Attitude. Number 3, be thankful. Be content with what you have. Rather than constantly striving to have more, stop, wait. Take a look at the good things in your life. And don't focus on what you think you're lacking. Do not focus on material possessions, but look at your relationships, your family, your health, your friends, and nature. Try not to be envious of other people. They may appear to have a great life on the surface, but if you dig deeper, you will probably find that actually, you are more content with your life overall than you would be with somebody else's life. Number 4, be patient. Attitude, thoughts, and beliefs take time to change, but with perseverance, dedication, and repetition, it is possible. If you feel yourself doubting and slipping back into a general negative mindset, remember that positive thinking is not a lost situation. It's something that's going to benefit you. So keep persevering, keep practicing, repetition, repetition, repetition. Number 5, change your vocabulary. Reshape the words that you use in your general dialogues. Whether this is internally or out loud when talking with people, replace the words that have negative connotations with those that convey a more positive impression. Change how you speak about your day, about your partner, about your job, about your life, about yourself. What are you saying? Say it. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. What are you saying? Say it. I am beautiful. I am confident. I am excited about today. What are you saying? Say it. I am enough. I am worthy. I am limitless. What are you saying? Say it. I add something to this world. My past is my past. Dear future, I am ready. What are you saying? Be mindful of the words you use and the words other people use to address you. Don't limit yourself by your words, and don't allow anybody else to limit you by their words. Because remember, what you think and believe will determine how you feel and affect how you behave and you act. That's attitude.
Join us again next week as we continue to transform and win. Be sure to subscribe on our website onmymark.co for weekly exclusives and giveaways. Until next time, on my mark, get set, let's go.